discuss about Java BufferedWriter. In previous videos, we would have seen many things like FileReader, writer, and the advantages of FileReader over file output stream like that. In this video, we are going to see about the BufferedWriter in a detailed manner. What is a BufferedWriter and what are the advantages of BufferedWriter and how we can use BufferedWriter to write a simplest program. So first, what is a BufferedWriter? So BufferedWriter is a wrapper over FileReader. So the operation that we can perform using FileReader can be performed in BufferedWriter, but in performance angle, BufferedWriter has some upper hand. So consider an example. Suppose we are trying to write 1 GB of data, 1 GB of text data. So you could imagine the number of characters in the 1 GB of data. If you are trying to write each character using FileReader means, then it would take some time. So it also consumes, it takes some considerable amount of time, and it's very performance, the performance would be very slow. That's the reason why FileReader needs to be used less over BufferedWriter. In this case, we need to use BufferedWriter. BufferedWriter uses some internal buffer. So once that buffer overflows, that buffer would be returned into the actual disk. Till that time, that buffer holds the actual data. That's the power of BufferedWriter. So we will see how we can. So here I have written a simplest program by which we can write some text data to a file. So FileReader, first we need to create the object for FileReader. FileReader writer equal to new FileReader file. We need to send the file, and then we need to create the BufferedWriter object. BufferedWriter buffer equal to new BufferedWriter, and you need to specify the FileReader object as a constructor parameter. And then we need to write the file buffer.write, and we need to write whatever we can. So I am writing RAKESH, and then we need to close the BufferedWriter object. So if you close the BufferedWriter object, then FileReader object would be automatically closed. So if you close the wrapper object, then the internal objects would be automatically closed. And then I have printed the message called task completed. If suppose if you run this program, you would see the following data. So you can write some data to a file using BufferedWriter. In the next videos, we will see what are the differences between the BufferedWriter and buffered output stream like that. Thanks.